Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, it's just going to be mainly about all the mods as far as the power mods, all the engine work and all that, just to make a certain horsepower or this setup as far as anybody's curious or, wanting the same setup. First off, this car made 437 wheel horsepower with 428 pounds of torque at 20 psi. And once again, that is on pump 91. So that's something to consider. If you want to push over 400 horsepower, this is something you would consider looking into as far as this setup. And I mean, obviously, there's different setups out there that can reach that certain horsepower too, which I understand and all that. But this is just a setup that I feel like is pretty reasonable. Some stuff that may not be necessary, as far as buying all these parts and this and that, but this is what will get you there. Also, reliability is there, and just all the supporting mods. But we'll go ahead and start off with the first step. So first off, the whole block, what I have is a short block, and that is a Type RA with the CP forged pistons. On top of that, the heads also are still stock, but they do have new valves, which are the GSC stainless valves. Everything else internally is stock, as far as all the camshaft or crankshaft and all that. But I believe it's the 2017 plus crank, so I don't know if that's any better. As far as I heard, it's the black nitrate one. But anyways, we do got the RCM timing belt also installed, so that's all brand new. Obviously new spark plugs, and I think the ARP 2000 series head studs. I think that's pretty much it as far as all the motor work goes. So going from there, I would say I have the Grimmspeed top mount intercooler in black, and they come with two. Either you get just regular silver, or obviously the coated version. Also, I got the Grimmspeed bypass valve, and I believe this is the version 2 that they had came out with, so it's re-engineered to, I think it's a little better than their version 1. But anyways, those two things there. Also the Grimmspeed electronic boost controller solenoid paired up with that. Let's see. Oh yeah, the fuel pressure regulator, that is by Cobb. What else we got here? Koyo radiator along with the arcade titanium piping. That's just kind of more of an aesthetic look to it, I guess. Turbo inlet by Cobb. Also a Cobb SF intake. What else is here? Obviously you got the IAG AOS, and this is the Street series or Street version. And I think they do got the competition series, which you could convert that if you really need to. In my setup, obviously Street is enough. That kind of covers majority of the stuff that you can kind of see. Now below, I am running a PLM equal length headers. That's obviously underneath there, and then going up from there, I'm also running the PLM up pipe with a flange, and I'm running the Turbosmart, and I believe it's the 45 millimeter. So it was a package deal that came with the up pipe itself, so it was all there for that package there. And then up from there, I got the turbo, and the turbo I'm running is a BCP X500 Plus stock location. So I don't know, I mean, it's kind of hard to see from there, but you can kind of see that bar that's there. That's the actual internal wastegate bracket. Pretty much closes that since I'm running external wastegate. And then going from there, I got the Cobb downpipe. Going back is a catback, and I believe it's a Subiedepot 3-inch all the way back, and then you got the tips. So there's no resonator there, so pretty loud. So that pretty much covers majority of the mods there. Oh wait, I forgot some fueling mods. Sorry. The FIC 1200cc injectors. Fuel Injection Clinic is the full name there, and then also your typical AEM fuel pump 340. So that's what I'm running as far as fueling goes. So with that setup, you should be able to run at least 400 horsepower. But obviously with this being the dyno, it ran 437, so more than I expected, which I was actually pretty surprised, and especially the torque amount too. That's crazy. And I think with the built short block really helps out. I'd say my short block is kind of mid-tier. I mean, obviously there's different short blocks you can get out there from different companies. Your most common one being IAG. I know they offer certain packages, you know, for certain horsepower levels and all that. But for me, I just had an option of just choosing something mid-tier, you know. I wasn't really crazy as far as running high horsepower. I just wanted something more durable and for reliability. But for this power level, I mean, it's quick, you know. I mean, probably the next video or so, I'll probably do some more in-cabin driving and doing some polls, you know, so you guys can hear how it sounds. Because that external wastegate really opens up. It really just shuts everything off as far as like before. I would be able to hear the intake, you know, all the induction noises and all that. But now that thing just kills everything, which, I mean, for me, I mean, it is what it is, you know. I mean, it's fun, it's loud, and yeah, it's just really, really nice to be driving something like this. And then obviously, I mean, I got a lot of like dress up parts too, just to kind of make it look more aesthetic appealing in my taste, you know, like some of this titanium stuff. Grimmspeed caps to kind of clear out some of the yellow that kind of popped up in here, and I got that one yellow for the oil dipstick, but kind of like that there so I can kind of know where it's at like right away. But other than that, I mean, this whole setup here, it's kind of like, to me, I like how everything just flows and just looks like it all belongs there. Kind of like OEM plus is the term I guess you would use in my vocabulary here. I think it's just a really nice setup, clean, and, you know, pretty simple. But obviously I got the power now to, you know, back that up, and it's really nice, you know, just something fun to drive now. Now that I'm able to finish, now that the build is all finished, I can actually enjoy this car, because last year, you know, I did all the motor work and all that just to have it running, and it wasn't anything crazy, you know. And then now finish up all the turbo stuff and yeah, getting it on the dyno. Yeah, so now I can actually enjoy the car, do pulls here and there, you know, whenever I want. I forgot to mention, maybe it's not really necessary, but I do have gauges for this car that I did install myself. I don't know if you can see this line here. That is actually the oil pressure gauge line, or yeah, it's running through the car, obviously through the cabin. And then I do got an AFR gauge inside, so the wire here that's going into the downpipe. So those are two gauges I'm running, and I think that's something I kind of researched as far as what people recommended. And I mean, yeah, you can add other gauges too, but those are two that I feel like are really nice to kind of monitor. And I did forget to mention, this is open source tuning. I forgot to say that. I should have said that, because the tuner that I've worked with, or I did work with, is they only did open source tuning, and I think that they are now Cobb certified, but he didn't really recommend that too much. I think just because I can get more custom map, and also forgot to mention, along with the map or custom or the tuning or whatever, he had patched my ECU, so I'm able to have some nice features. What is it called? Rolling anti-lag, launch control, which is set at 5,000. He can always change that. What else did I have? Also, I have like a little knock sensor thing, so there may be knock events. My check engine light might blink a little bit. Obviously, nothing to be concerned about, but it's kind of nice to have now, since I don't actually have the access port installed anymore. So you don't have all those things to kind of look at, which kind of sucks in a way, but it's kind of nice because then it just kind of clears open more space in the interior. Nothing to kind of always look at, always having to like look at something. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of set up here. Once again, this is something, if you consider making at least 400 horsepower, consider doing all these things. I didn't do any fuel rails or other fuel lines. I think that was unnecessary in my setup, to be honest. I mean, if you have the money, you can go for it and do it just for more durability. But other than that, it's really not necessary with this setup. Yeah, I went by what the tuner said, and you kind of got to go by what they say, what they recommended. So that was something that was recommended for me, especially with the turbo and the injectors to kind of run, and especially if I want to, in the future, be on flex fuel. I'm pretty much set up now, All I would need is just an ethanol sensor kit and get it on the dyno again, for that tune or for that fuel. I know some of you guys may have questions, especially regarding how much it costs to do all this. And obviously, I don't have all the numbers exactly, so maybe in the next video, I'll try to get all the numbers and figures and all that and get the total. But obviously, if you guys know about STIs and all that, it's obviously a lot to make a certain horsepower, or especially just for this certain amount of horsepower. So, but at the end of the day, it's your car, your vehicle, something just fun to do. Being a car enthusiast, you kind of gotta, pretty much pay to play. So that's just how it goes. So the next video, I'll try to do some driving, trying to show you guys how it sounds, this and that, and how everything goes. But other than that, go ahead, subscribe, comment, like. Feel free to ask any questions. And I'll be glad to try to answer all of them as best as I can. But other than that, stay tuned for the next video.